I'm going to give it a real shot to beat the amount of interest generated by the previous speaker. Okay, I'm going to talk about Sensley, which is a health technology company. But my name is Eddie Lee. I am the head of Asia business for this company, which is based out of Silicon Valley. And first, I'll give a brief introduction about myself. So over the last 5 years, I was in Silicon Valley, mainly as a venture capital investor. In fact, I was heading up the fund that invested into this company 6 months ago. I've been investing in IoT, health technology over the last 4 years, investing in 53 companies. The kind of companies I invest are both in Silicon Valley and also in Southeast Asia. Examples of companies I've invested in Southeast Asia is Tech in Asia, where I was a board director as well. I've also invested in iMoney, which is a Malaysia-based company. I also invested in Alo Doctor, which is a health technology company based out of Indonesia. So Sensley is one of my investments, and I believe so much in this company that I decided to come to Singapore to represent them and help them enter the Asian market. So what do they do? What does Sensley do? Let's take a look at what they can do. Sensley is essentially a I think I got low bat on this. Maybe someone can help me proceed with the slides. It's flashing. Yeah, it's good. So Sensley is a platform which provides an electronic doctor on your cell phone, on your iPad, that speaks with you, interacts with you, just like a real doctor or nurse would. It takes information from databases such as the National Institute of Health. It takes databases such as the National Health Services of the UK, process the information with artificial intelligence engine like IBM Watson's, and interacts with the user in 26 different languages, including Bahasa, Thai, Mandarin, English, etc. The opportunity that this can create is immense. But first of all, let's take a look at what they can do through a short video clip. Can we proceed to the next slide? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Molly, and I am going to be your virtual nurse.
There is one universal.
It's time to take your blood pressure.
So this is a Bluetooth connected blood pressure monitor for people to take blood pressure at home.
120/80, which is a huge improvement from your last reading.
We are
Results over to your doctor now, and just as a reminder, your telemedicine call to review your results is at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Until then, I'll be here if you need anything. Thank you, and I will be speaking.
So this is a platform that can connect to the blood pressure monitor, which is extremely useful if you are a chronic heart failure sufferer. It can connect to the scale to measure your BMI, which everyone can use. It can connect to glucometer, right? It can connect to any medical device that is Bluetooth connected. And this has immense opportunity for chronic health management, especially with diabetes in the Asian market. So what you have seen was the patient interface, right? But on the other side of the table is a clinical interface. Doctors who are, for example, cardiologists, typically the workflow is this. They have nurses to call the patients at 9 a.m. every day. And the nurses will ask the patient, so what is your blood pressure reading this morning? So the patients are supposed to, every 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., take out the blood pressure monitor at home, measure their blood pressure, anticipating that the nurse will call them. And the doctors and nurses typically in each hospital have to monitor 2,000 to 3,000 patients on a daily basis. So what Sensley can do is take the blood pressure readings, right, with the Sensley platform, pushes this reading to the cloud, integrate with existing EHR systems like Allscripts, Epic, Cerner, and algorithmically decide which is a patient that has a trending high or low blood pressure, and who are the patients with a very high and very low blood pressure that requires immediate intervention. The nurse can call, Sensley can automatically schedule an appointment for such people. So on a clinician dashboard, this is what the doctor and nurses see. They can monitor 2,000 to 3,000 patients, having notification alerts on who are the specific patients that requires immediate intervention. Next slide, please. Can we have the next slide? Yeah. Oh. So Sensely uses machine learning. It integrates multi-sensory analysis. What they are doing is making use of every sensor available on a mobile phone, including front and back camera. And this has implication on being able to take a photo of your insurance reimbursement form to make the reimbursement process much smoother. It can take reading from your accelerator, pedometer, from your cell phone. It's connected to HealthKit, right? It's also connected to any Bluetooth connected health devices, including wearables. On the other end, it is also processing the information from any medical database I have mentioned and processing it with any available AI engine, for example, IBM Watson's. So this is an avatar that can potentially augment the current lack of doctors and nurses. At this point, it is not set out to replace the doctors and nurses, right? Because the regulatory process will be prohibitive for it to do so, right? This is a class 1 product. It recommends, it advises, it pushes data to the doctors who makes the decision. Current customers are abundant in the US and the UK. Take, for example, Novartis. Novartis has just launched a new drug called Entresto. It's set to be the next blockbuster drug for cardiac conditions. And Sensely's app is a companion app to this new drug. In the NHS, right? Typically, NHS patients go to NHS clinic. This is a UK clinic. The nurses will ask them, why are you here today? Do you have drug allergy? Can I take your blood pressure? Can I take your weight? All this process has been streamlined with an iPad kiosk where patients go there, speak to the avatar, and have their blood pressure taken and weight taken by themselves. And MedLife, Boston Scientific, UCSF are also clients of Sensely. In terms of the team, right, we have an all-star team. The CEO is Adam Odesky, who invented this technology while he was with Oracle and Microsoft. Since then, he bought over the IP and gave it to Sensely. The CMO, Chief Medical Officer, is the other co-founder. She's had 2 previous startup experience. And we have a team of VP of Product Management, VP of Engineering with extensive background in engineering. And we have Kathy, who used to come from Nuance, which we know is a fantastic speech-to-text transition company. And I am currently also a consulting professor at Stanford. I used to be a VC. I used to run product development at Marvell, which is a Southeast Asia success story. So this is Sensely. Please look up the Sensely website. Take a look at what they can do, and hopefully you'll find a use for your clinic or your patients. Thanks for your attention. We are now open to questions.
Thank you, Eddie. It is open to questions. Do we have any? From the floor? Yes, we have a few. Let me just get to you, sir.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm just not clear exactly what is the main feature of the product, because it looks like just another information management system which is portable. And you have highlighted this one particular measurement of BP. Is that it? Is that what is, if that's related to the doctors, for example, what other things can it do? Because there are many other devices, I think, that can do that now. So what is the main feature? What is your product? What's the niche of the
So Sensely is potentially one single platform to communicate with the patients, taking their vital signs from cell phone, from medical devices, their voice input, their button presses, every single thing that can be measured about a patient, and pushing this to the cloud and merging it with the EHR, and algorithmically notifying the doctor if something is wrong. It can be a single platform where the one distinct difference is the use of avatar, because avatar has been shown that when compared to static image, when compared to audio only, right? In a study by USC, it's been shown that avatar can allow users to interact for a longer duration, allow them to answer more questions. The per session time is also higher, and users are also more likely to recommend a friend to use the platform if it's avatar-based compared to audio only or text only. So there has been extensive research in using avatar in customer service, and now they are taking this technology and applying it to the healthcare sector.
Okay.
Okay.
There's another question from the gentleman
All
on
right.
the other end.
To me, I think I see there's a lot of potential there. But the idea is, of course, it's good for the developed countries where, you know, a lot of usage of apps and all that. And we hope that in Malaysia, you'll catch it up. My question is, in terms of patients' data and health data and all that, it's very confidential. Even in Malaysia, the MOH doesn't release a lot of data and all that. Are you penetrating into that sort of barrier that you know will come to a problem, especially in developing countries, especially in Malaysia too, whereby we see that data is not that freely available and things like that. And then the other thing will be, what's the cost like? I mean, is there any cost for the patient and things like that? It's very important in terms of costing and all that. Is it going to be freely available, or just, you know, or something that you can download and things like that? And can that be also be used by anyone who want to use these core apps and that? The third one is, why sensely and not healthily?
The last one, what is it? The last question, I missed the part.
I know you call it sensely.
Yeah.
I say it should be healthy and not healthily or whatever.
It could be. Well, Sensely, first of all, sense.ly, Sensely is a URL that's available, and it's a multi-sensory approach. So the team decided to call it Sensely. Well, it's quite memorable, I guess. So to really answer the questions relates to this seems to be a product developed for developed market, right? US and UK. So how can we apply such a product to the emerging markets of Southeast Asia? Part of the reason why I have moved from Silicon Valley back to Southeast Asia and also focusing on health is that I see big opportunity in health technology for emerging market. The value proposition has to be different. The price point, the business model has to suit the emerging market. In US and UK, this product is paid for by the insurer, right? In emerging markets, typically people are uninsured or not insured at all. So, but very often it is the user that pays for it, or it could be the user paying for one's parents, right? It's the parents who's using, but the kids who are paying for it. So there's a distinctive child-parent relationship in Asia that a business model can be made out of. So in terms of what this does in a developed world, because of the high cost of the professional caregivers, nurses and doctors, right? This product can potentially, per check-in, when a patient walks into a clinic, save 15 minutes of nursing time. And we calculate that is, we have already calculated that for National Health Services, this is $6 saved per patient, right? And on top of that, NHS is also having a helpline where people call 111 for non-emergency situations. Again, we can calculate and quantify the amount of money saved per call. But for the emerging market, we have a different situation. We have people in distant rural towns like Kuching or even Surabaya or Medan who does not trust the doctor down the street. What they do is they go to KL or they go to Jakarta to see a doctor. And people in KL and Jakarta sometimes go to Singapore to see a doctor. So to solve this problem, there is also an opportunity behind it, right? There's opportunity for medical tourism. So this product can be the lead generator by providing the first line of information that is taken from a reliable source, such as the National Health Services, empowered by an AI engine like IBM Watson's, having a good conversation to solve first line problem and give the customer some assurance, the patient. And the second part is to lead gen and pass this contact into a medical tourism sale for the company as well. So there's different business model that can be built for Southeast Asia, for emerging markets. And part of the reason why this company is actually raising a new A1 round, the previous A round, 2.2 was raised, right? They are looking for 1.5 specifically to enter emerging markets. For the moment, I'm not a full-time representative. I was just a former investor opening up the market for them. But once they can raise this round, we can start looking into how to tackle every single market in Southeast Asia, etc.
On that note, thank you, Eddie. You've also garnered quite a lot of interest, and we'd like to invite you to engage Eddie off stage with any other questions. Thank you very much, Eddie, for that presentation on Sensely.